Yo, Bachi 2007 back at you with another one. This is the cover of Chef P's The Pink Sauce Lady's latest video, Final Notice of Eviction. We're going to come back to Chef P, but let's look at this story from the British Broadcasting Company of this strong black woman in England who don't need no man.
How did you end up here? What happened?
I used to rent privately, and the landlord realized I was pregnant, and he didn't want any babies in the property, so he evicted me. I went to the council for help, and the council was like, we don't have any properties available. The only thing we can do is just send you off to Hertfordshire. Basically, everything is in the same room. This is where we all sleep. The kitchen, the bedroom, the sitting room, everything is all in one room. We all sleep here.
Yeah.
And this is basically the living room, which is right next to the bed, and the kitchen.
Hold on. So she's already got a little one running around. We see a little girl in here. So she's got this little girl. All right. And then she goes and has another baby, which she can't afford where she's already living, and is forced to live in this one room with two kids. Before we get into that, take a moment to like the video. If you hit the like button, I'd really appreciate it. It helps me with the algorithm and help me to be able to continue to make these videos by growing the channel. Hit the like button, and we're right back to the program. It just still makes no sense to me. Okay, so you're a single mother with a kid. You can't afford to pay rent on your own in private rentals. You say the landlord evicted you over you having a baby. I wonder how true that is. Either way, if you got evicted from one place, then you pay for another place, right? Because you're not having kids with no man that you can't afford to have, right? Because that's the problem here. The problem is you're having kids randomly raw dogging with random men who you have no commitment from, but you strong and independent and don't need no man, and black women are running circles around us. Let's look at all these circles they're running around us, black men.
I work in London as well, so it's not been easy for me to keep going back and forth, traveling like over 20 miles to work.
Yeah.
Every day is a nightmare. The cost is a nightmare. I spend more than half my wages on transportation fees.
But wait a minute, black women making all this money. They're making all the money, and it's dusty black men who out here broke and can't afford a place to live. But she has to go to the government to get one room efficiency for her and two children. This is how they're providing. But where are the fathers? Why did she just have another baby when she already apparently couldn't afford to pay to house the child she already had properly? How does it not factor in, before I lay down and have sex, at the bare minimum, let me use a condom, which is 99%. They're 99% effective. So don't tell, condoms don't always work. All these kids are not coming from usage of condoms. If they were, 99% of them wouldn't exist. How does this make any sense as a way to operate?
My older daughter, Maya, she knows that where we live is like different from where most people live, because every time we go to other places and there's separate kitchen and a separate bathroom and a separate living room and bedroom, she noticed the difference between there and this place.
But you did this to her. You stated that the landlord didn't want babies in the apartment complex. So apparently you signed a lease for two people. I mean, I just doubt it's even legal that you could be evicted for having another child. But whatever the case may be, again, you don't, if you can afford children, then you could afford a different place if it wasn't working out where you were living. If your living situations are so tenuous, You can't be evicted and go get you another place. You have to go to the government for them to give you a one-room efficiency. Then you clearly cannot afford to have more children and to have them by yourself and with no father. Which I'm betting this second child is not the father's not the same one as the first one. But somehow it's okay to do this. This is empowering. Running around, getting ran through, popping out children to random men who you know don't want to be fathers, but there's no accountability on the woman's side. It's society's fault. It's certainly black men's fault. It's all black. It's all the other 70-80% of black men who don't do this. They're at fault for the small percentage of pookies you pick to go have random unprotected sex with and just create children randomly.
Obviously, she's a girl growing up. She wants to play around. She wants to have a normal life like a little girl, but she can't have that because we're stuck in this box room.
Because of your choices, lady. Where is 1 ounce of accountability? And this is what the problem is. No accountability. Sad face, sob story, a lot of mouth all the time, running off at the mouth on the internet, making silly TikToks and stuff. But they have no accountability.
Recently.
So a big internet superstar on this side of the pond, where black women are definitely running circles around black men, as we've seen on Kendra G. Every black woman, every modern black woman is an entrepreneur, and they get into the bag, and black men is lacking. So let's hear how it's going for this young black entrepreneur in America.
This chaos that's going on with Dave's Gourmet. So first of all, I want to acknowledge this $120,000 that they've responded to the blog saying that they paid me. So number one, it wasn't an upfront payment of $120,000.
Okay, yeah, like that makes a big difference. You got $120,000, whether it was all at once. How does that keep you from being able to afford housing? And according to this statement here from Dave's Gourmet, they paid you $45,000 up front. How can you not pay first and last month's rent and even a deposit if you have to? If you have to pay all three of those, let's say to get a place that costs $2,000, you got to pay probably about $5,000, $4,500 up front. You have $45,000. You couldn't break 10% off to secure an apartment or a house, a small house for you and your two sons to stay in for the next year with the $45,000 upfront payment? Just crazy. With the $120,000 paid to her in less than a year, which is way more than most people make, let's hear more unaccountability.
Straightforward. It was sent to me partially. I don't know if it blocked out right there because the low battery thing came. But they were partial payments, and then also a huge chunk of that money went towards me paying for Airbnb and paying for hotels because, mind y'all, I was homeless for 6 months.
Strong, independent black women homeless? Y'all running circles, Miss Entrepreneur? But again, I just showed you. She's been paid tens of thousands of dollars. And she just told you what she's doing. Instead of taking the money and going and paying a deposit in first month and getting a lease for 12 months to stay somewhere, she's spending it on luxury Airbnbs to live lavishly in plush settings so she can live the high life because she just deserves it. And she deserves to go get her eyelashes done and her stripper wigs done and all this, that, and the other, but her kids can't eat. After she got $40,000 in advances on her royalties, which they did not have to give her and did not charge her interest and fees that they had the right to charge her. They did not charge her that. She comes back in March of this year. She needs more money because she apparently claims she can't feed her children. They give her $5,000 more. And what does she do with that? Miami Yacht Life, Miami Baby, Don Julio for $250. She can feed herself ultra expensive liquor, but she can't feed her kids. She can ride a yacht and she can live the high life on a yacht, but she can't afford a place for her kids to live. We're done with this foolishness. Women are strong, independent women who don't need no man, who can lead themselves, but can't lead themselves to pay the rent. We're going to get out of here on this one. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell to come back for more. Yobachi 2007. I'm out. Yo.